Today is one of those work on the truck days. However, I need to rent the ball joint press. And it's way more expensive than it is online. And the real problem with that is Taylor has all the money and she's not home. So that's gonna delay my plans for a little bit. However, I do have to do the spark plugs, so hopefully I can get to all 16 of them without too much problem. So looking at the engine bay, doing these spark plugs is gonna be take more time than I thought it would, since they're down here and two of the cylinders on the driver's side are going to be blocked by the brake booster. That's awesome. Over here, the passenger side should be fairly easy though. So there's not even a good way to get a wrench in here, or a ratchet in here. Got lucky here, boys. 10mm. Anyway, actually found the 10mm swivel, barely, but I got it. Nowhere in the how-tos that I read, because I knew it was going to be complicated, does it say that you need a lot of patience, or that you need to take half the truck apart. But this is ridiculous. You see, first cylinder hole, it won't even fit in there. Because our AC lines are in the way. Well, I got one out, and yeah, you can tell that she was ready to go. Okay, well, I finished what I would call the two easy ones, these two right here. Now I've got this one and that one here on this side, which look to be quite a bit harder, especially that far back one. And yes, I am sitting in the engine bay of my truck. So I found the easiest way to do this is do everything individually, which sucks because I hate just dropping things in there not knowing if I can get it out. But there's that. And then I've got, this is 2 extension, that's a 1" with a swivel, which acts as like a 2 or 3" and I try to put those in together because that swivel is hard to get attached to anything, and that makes it flush. And then I'm gonna hope that we can get this in here, and this 3" here on, but still have enough room to, this angle won't, there we go, still have enough room to attach the ratchet here. About a turn or two, just enough to loosen it. After that, put you guys down here for a minute. That you can detach the ratchet and just spin it by hand, and then slowly remove stuff as you see stuff start to pop out. Especially with how tight it is here, I have noticed that the less resistance you have when it's time, it's not quite for that, time for that, when it's time to pull the spark plug out, the less resistance you have, the better. Because if there's anything, it'll just drop back in there. Nope, not quite. I can feel we have it, but it's not all the way out yet. Yeah, I can feel the weight there. Put you guys down again because I have to. There we go. Just how to detach these two while holding that, or else you never get it out. Alright, driver's side is done. Now to the passenger side, which, if you look, is way easier to get to, except for maybe that last little bugger. But I still think it's going to be easier than the driver's side, any of them. What you want to do on this one, make it easier, is pull out the intake. We've got a little, you can use a flathead or a 8mm. I prefer the 8mm. You have your airflow sensor right here. Go all the way to the left and pulse your check. And then give me a sec to get it and take it apart. Got it out, and yet the only thing you have to unscrew is the hose from the throttle body. But look at that, we have everything, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 back there. This hose might be a little bit of a pain, but that looks way easier than before though. Well, I didn't look at the clock until after I finished the first plug in this cylinder, so I still have this plug and these two to do, but that took me 8 minutes. 8 minutes to do 3 plugs, and it probably took me 10 minutes a piece on the other side. So this side's a lot easier so far. Now we're getting to the harder stuff, but this is the way it should be, right here, easy, not with brake boosters in the way. The passenger side was really easy to do, but now we have the scariest part of starting it and making sure it starts and there's no codes. It's a good sign so far. Let it idle a minute here, make sure there's no codes that are going to pop up. Check here. Monitor, make sure there's no misfires. No misfires so far, that's a good sign. Okay, now time to do the pesky ball joint. Oh, that's a lot of mud. But the upper's not looking very good either. However, I don't think the upper's replaceable. Alright, yeah, so this is about as far as I've gotten. Obviously the brakes are off, and that nut on the bottom here is off. And then I almost got the upper control arm off, but I decided I'm not going to do this right now. If you look, this upper control arm bushing's bad, which means so much mud to find out, but I'm pretty sure I have to replace the entire upper control arm, which is fairly cheap, I think. If I can replace just that bushing, I'll clean that off and find out. But if I can replace just that bushing, I will do that as well. Or the joint, ball joint, sorry. But this bushing is bad. These bushings are completely bad. Same thing with those ones. So, if I gotta do all this, I might as well just do it all at once. I also don't want to do it right here in my garage because it's a little bit more than I thought it was going to be. I didn't process through that I have to undo the upper to get the lower off, which means that shock is going to have nothing holding it on, which means it's going to fly out, which means it's an even bigger job than I thought it was going to be. So, in order to not lose my face to a wild shock, I'm going to go ahead and leave this alone right now. I'll go to a better place to get it done with better resources, and then I'll handle it then.